What's up guys, my name's Finn. Welcome to Treehouse Off-Road. Thanks for watching. In today's video, we're going to be focusing on lower control arm bushings, specifically polyurethane lower control arm bushings. As of the date of this video, there are 4 companies making polyurethane bushings for the first generation Tundra and Sequoia platform. You got Daystar, you got PSB, you got Siberian Bushings, and you got Nolethane. Some of them have similar designs and some of them don't. In this video, I'll be talking about the first 3 I mentioned because those are the 3 that I've tried. I'll give you some tips and tricks for removing the factory rubber bushings. For some of these poly bushings, you have to remove the entire factory bushing, including the metal sleeve. For some of them, you have to retain that metal sleeve. We'll be going over all that in today's video, so thanks for joining me, and let's get to it.
So why would you want to replace your rubber bushings with polyurethane? We had a 2007 FJ Cruiser in the shop recently, and this is the perfect example. I paid good money for the coilovers and the shocks in my truck, so I want them handling the suspension work alone. Rubber bushings want to stay where they're at. As you can see right here, when I pull up on it, it snaps back down. When I push down on it, it snaps back up. Here's a Tacoma where I'm having to literally step on the lower control arm to get the shock out. And here's an upper control arm on a Tacoma, and you can see when I pull that tool off, it bounces right back into place. The rear control arms do the same thing. Look, I'll push down on the axle, remove the spring, and it pops right back up into place. So it's like your shocks and your springs are fighting the forces that the rubber bushings create. Here's a clip of my truck where I'm able to just push that upper control arm up in order to get the upright out of the way. Here's another clip where I can just push that lower control arm down, and it's not trying to bounce back to its original position. In fact, I can just rock it back and forth with no issues. And it's worth mentioning that the upper and lower control arm bolts are still torqued while I'm doing this. But just like anything off-road related, or life related for that matter, there are trade-offs. Factory rubber bushings dampen the road noise, they dampen the vibrations, and they dampen the harshness. With polyurethane bushings, you're just going to feel more of that as you drive because it's a harder compound. But man, do they tighten up that front end. I mean guys, let's face it, some of these rubber bushings in our trucks are 20, even 25 years old. Installing polyurethane bushings in your control arms and your steering rack can make your older Toyota drive like a whole new vehicle. And like I said, I've tried 3 different brands, so at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you which ones worked out the best for me. If you're still on the fence about polyurethane bushings, let's check out what some of the manufacturers are doing right now. So here we have the Solo Motorsports stock length lower control arm for the first gen Tundra and Sequoia. This is a really popular product right now. These guys are using polyurethane bushings. Here's the Total Chaos long travel kit for the first gens. They're also using poly bushings for the upper and lower control arms. And they're saying urethane pivot bushings reduce deflection compared to a rubber bushing, offering a tighter steering feel. SPC, still a very popular choice for upper control arm for the first gens. They're using polyurethane bushings. MCM Fab long travel kit, polyurethane lower and upper bushings. Everyone I've ever known that has run this kit has absolutely loved it. This is the Dirt King long travel kit for the second gen Tundra. They chose to go with Delrin bushings for the lower control arms and polyurethane bushings for the upper control arms. As the kits get more advanced and more expensive, you'll start to see the use of Delrin and Uniballs more often. I don't have much experience with Delrin bushings, and as far as I know, you can't get stock replacement bushings that are made of Delrin, so that's why this video is focusing on polyurethane. Because I love you guys so much, I went on eBay and got a used lower control arm from a first gen Sequoia. When you look closely, you can see the metal sleeve. That's the bushing. Also, this is the bushing. Also, this is the bushing. And here is a cheap replacement bushing. There's that metal ridge. And there's that inner sleeve. The inner is steel, the outer is steel, and between them is vulcanized rubber. It's meant to bend a little, but always bounce back to its original shape. And when it gets old, it just likes to crack. We are going to take these bushings out. We're going to do it 2 different ways. On one side, we're going to leave this outer steel sleeve from the original bushing inside here. And on the other side, we're going to just get rid of all of it. Because depending on which polyurethane bushing you go with, the arm has to be prepped different ways. If you're installing the Daystar or the Nolethane kit, the outer shell of the original factory bushing has to be left intact and in the arm. So that's what we'll go over first. We're going to start by cutting this outer plate off. And there's a closer look at what's going on underneath. And everybody's probably already seen this trick, but it literally is the easiest thing to do. So you take the stock jack that came with the Sequoia and then line it up. I have my bushing aimed at the roll-up door because sometimes they do literally shoot out. There it is. You can also use a press if you have one. In this video, I'm doing my wife's upper control arms. You'll have a little bit of rubber to clean up, but that inner ring is still perfectly intact. And this is where you get your MAP gas torch. Do yourself a favor at the hardware store and get the yellow bottle. It burns a lot hotter, takes a lot less time. And do it at night, do it outside, away from anyone that's breathing, because it smokes for a good 15-20 minutes sometimes. So yeah, I hit it with the torch, get it nice and hot, and then I like to take an old flathead screwdriver and scrape the bulk of the rubber away with that. Just heat scrape, heat scrape, heat scrape, and avoid those fumes. All right, so once you torched the rubber bushings out and did your best to scrape with a flathead screwdriver, this is what you're left with. Get you some sort of wire wheel, and you just gotta go at it. Here's a real good view of that inner sleeve. So if you took your time and you were thorough, you should be left with a nice clean barrel to throw that bushing into. And guys, if you're removing the sleeve like I'm going to show you next, there's obviously no need to clean it up at all. Now if you're installing problem-solving bushings or Siberian bushings, you will need to go through this next step of removing that sleeve. This is also necessary if you plan on installing factory Toyota bushings or any of the bajillion Chinese knockoffs. So I start by cutting into that sleeve with a Sawzall, a little bit at a time, being very careful not to cut into the actual control arm. And I use a cutting wheel and a grinder to cut the flange in the same positions. Then I take a hammer and a chisel and I just get after it. The main goal is to hammer that flange inwards so that the whole thing can be pushed out, in pieces or whole, any way you can get it out. Same thing on the other side. I'm going to take a wire wheel and knock the rust out of this thing. We're also going to take a quick look at this video from Dirt Nation Off-Road because this method has worked for me. If the bushing isn't seized up too bad, you can heat it up with the torch while it's under tension of the jack and the whole thing might pop out for you. Now this is the easiest way and what you should try first. Just be careful guys, I had a flaming bushing shoot about 15 feet in the air and land in a neighbor's shrub. Here's another example from Twin Turbo Ranch. A blowtorch on the factory jack, you may get lucky. And I figured I'd throw this clip in for all my Rust Belt people. You guys might have a real hard time getting these things out. This video is from TRQ and they're just doing what I did with an air hammer. To anybody out there who regularly works on suspension and chassis that are this rusty, you have my utmost respect and I salute you. The fact that I live and work in a place where rust isn't a major problem is not lost on me. Alright, now we'll go through and I'll share my experience with the 3 polyurethane bushing companies that I've actually installed and ran on my truck. We're going to start off with PSB, problem solving bushings. Alright, problem solving bushings, what I like about them. They're affordable. What I dislike about them. On the other bushings you had one flat side and that's meant to go on the outside edge of the control arm. This looks like it's missing that. It doesn't look like they looked at the original bushings when they were designing these. What else do I not like about them off first glance? There's no channels for the grease to sit on the inside. Also, these sleeves are aluminum. Aluminum on steel bolts. Come on, bro. Look, it's already getting galled up. And I've just been messing with it. Like putting a bolt in, taking a bolt out. I do not see these lasting a long time. Maybe for a stock Sequoia, daily driver. I don't know. It's too late now. I gotta put them in, so we'll see. The installation process alone on these bushings would cause me never to buy them again. The first one went in fine, so I thought I was good to go. But that second one would not go in. It just kept wanting to jump out of the control arm. No! Nope. Nope. It was so close. I wonder if I could just whack this in. Struggling today. Wait a second. All right, we're in there. Might as well do the sleeves too. I did a couple off-road trips with these problem-solving bushings installed, but Johnson Valley was the one that really pushed the limits. My front end's feeling pretty sloppy, so it's time to push these things out and see what's going on. Another problem with these bushings is that they only make contact right here. Not much surface area, and when it's made of polyurethane and aluminum, it's no match for what it's up against. This one looks like something took a bite out of it. I don't know how long I've had these in for, but I'm gonna guess 2 months at the most. Probably be fine for a daily driver. So I'd say PSB, lower control arm bushings, daily driver, approved. Any degree of off-roading, not approved. Okay, here's the Daystar kit. Large bushing, small bushing, large sleeve, small sleeve, grease, washers. Here's a little compilation of some adventures I had while my Daystars were installed. Alright, let's get these arms off and check out how the Daystar's held up. That's pretty loose. Well, this one is not. They don't actually look too horrible. Yeah, this is a weird thing that happens where it splits on the ends. For the abuse these bushings have seen, they're still in excellent shape. Overall, I would recommend Daystar. They're a little noisy. You do have to quiet them down with some grease every now and then, but it's a quality product. Alright, last but not least, the Siberian Bushings. Gorgeous. My first impression is that they look great and feel really well made. They just exude quality. See how the thickness is like doubled with that cam gusset kit? Pretty rad. I've heard nothing but positive things about Siberian bushings. Okay, we're gonna go with a 21-piece ball joint service set by OEM Tools. You can rent this at AutoZone or O'Reilly's. This guy's big enough to go over the bushing housing, but small enough to accept it once it pushes through, so perfect. Something like this. It's all about finding that perfect combination. There we go. I guess it just has to spill its guts like that for a second. All right, next. I love the yellow. I can't lie. One thing I'm not sure about, you guys, is what exactly in this bushing assembly pivots. There's a steel sleeve going all the way through. It would seem that the sleeve would pivot on the bolt, but this assembly gets tightened down really tight. So I think once that happens and the sides grip here and here, maybe the polyurethane spins on the barrels, because it looks like there's an outer steel barrel, the inner polyurethane, and then an inner steel barrel with these outer plates. That must be what's happening. The install does not call for grease of any kind. They didn't come with any grease. The install instructions don't mention any grease. We're just gonna throw back up there. Well, let me just take a break real quick to say how good these Perry Parts bump stops have been. I have not bottomed out hard one time since I installed these bump stops. I'm a true believer in the 3D printing bump stops. I just have the front one installed. I built a little landing pad for it with a gusset. I noticed the difference immediately. Give them a shot. You'll be pleasantly surprised. They're in there. They look awesome. That was a lot of work. Got one more set to do. I can confirm that the inner sleeve pivots on the polyurethane. Let's do a little test here. Outer sleeve, poly. Inner sleeve. There we go. I've been running the Siberian Bushings for about 6 months now, and I'm super happy with them. My suspension articulates great, the steering feels nice and tight, and I haven't heard a single squeak since installing them. From the front end, that is. Out of the 3 brands that I talked about today, PSB is at the bottom of my list. They might be fine for a stock Sequoia or a daily driver, but I would not trust them if you plan on even moderately off-roading your truck. And the installation process I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. My experience with Daystar was fine, contrary to what a lot of people say, with the only negative being the noise. The Daystars do have a tendency to start squeaking, but nothing a quality PTFE spray can't handle. They also use 2 big washers on the end of each bushing, which can be a little bit difficult to install. In fact, the last time I think I just left them out entirely. And while I can't speak on the Nolethane bushings from experience, their kit looks almost identical to the Daystar kit, and after reading both sets of instructions, it looks like they go together exactly the same. If I had to pick a winner, it would be the Siberian Bushings hands down. You get all the benefits of polyurethane bushings with none of the drawbacks. They're a little on the pricey side, but this is a situation in which you truly do get what you pay for. The next video is going to be a lot like this one, except I'll be comparing steering rack bushings. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for commenting, thanks for subscribing, and I'll leave you with some footage of me finally completing the Rubicon Trail on my second try. See you guys next time.